people don't understand that music and architecture are pretty close and similar in terms of evoking a spirit, evoking emotions, and mathematics, because there's the quarter note, half note, whole note, 16th note in music. So we also do measurements in architecture too as well. So they are, to me, they come together.
Welcome to Message Reveal. Message Reveal identifies a vibe, a message, or a story told through lyrics of a song. And you guys, if you rock with me every week, you know what I do. But if you're new to this platform, please subscribe and continue to find out what Message Reveal is all about. Well, you guys, you know how I do. Anybody that's new and coming to support me, I have to tell you a few things, just a few things. His resume is super long, so we would be here for days if I told you everything. But we'll talk about a few things. One, he has over 40 years. Can you guys believe that? Over 40 years of experience in the architectural field. He serves as a mentor for the West Prep Academy, and last but definitely not least, he's a musician. You guys, please put your hands together and welcome my special guest, Mr. Melvin.
Yay! Thank you so much for having me on your show. I'm really excited about the dialogues that we're going to talk about today.
Thank you. I appreciate you, one, for saying yes. I know you're a busy man, so I just appreciate you. Thank you so much. You do so much, and I just felt it was necessary and needed to find out who you are, because I feel like you're the guy behind the scene. Yes, you're up front, but you're quiet, and I think this will be a great way for people to get to know you. So
Absolutely. Everybody thinks that I am outgoing, but I'm actually an introvert. Most artists are.
yes, definitely that. And we're going to talk about all those things. So before we
Sure.
get started, can you just please give my guests and tell them a little bit about who you are and the company that you actually own and all those great stuff? If you can do that.
Sure, absolutely. Hello, everyone. My name is Mel Green. I am one of the principals at KME Architects. KME Architects has been around since 2010. However, I started my private practice back in 1995, sole proprietor, and we've grown this company into a staff of 10 people now with satellite offices in Atlanta as well as Dallas, Fort Worth, and Guam. So we're really excited that we are the largest minority firm here in Las Vegas, and we've worked on a lot of prestigious projects as well. I grew up in northern Louisiana, single parent household. I graduated from Louisiana Tech in many years ago. And then I started my business, like I said, in 1995.
Awesome. I think it's so wonderful to give that background information because I don't think a lot of people know the gist of what you've done and how you have really contributed to the fabric of the city of Las Vegas. I'm a native, I'm a proud native of Las Vegas. So the things that we'll talk about, I don't think people are aware of
Mhm.
some of the things that you've done. But before we get started, sir, we're going to talk
Sure.
about music. Music has turned me all the way out in such a great way.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And I know you can understand when I have this love, this longing, this newness for music, you know?
Absolutely.
So I always ask my guests, can you identify a song that has either blessed you, distracted you, or provided lessons? Now, sir, before you answer, there's a couple of rules to this, okay?
Sure, sure.
If you can sing, I need you to sing your throat box out.
I cannot sing. I read sheet music, so I play bass, but I can kind of give you an idea of that song, though.
Well, that's definitely what it is. Well,
Sure, sure,
if you can rap, I ask you to come hard in the paint. But if you cannot do either one of those, definitely, we say out in the streets, we need to
sure.
be able to feel it. You know, they say stand 10 toes down. I need
Uh,
to be able to feel what you're saying. So I'll go back to my original question.
okay.
If you could identify a song that has either provided blessings, lessons, or distractions.
Well, for me, that song is "Lovely Day" by Bill Withers. To me, it's the perfect example of a song to talk about blessings, to talk about lessons, because life is chaotic, right? And so there's always things that are happening. But when I listen to that song, it makes me feel like that I can conquer the world because after all of the chaos, all of the hard times that we're having, especially at work when I have a bunch of deadlines, I listen to this song because it says, have a lovely day. And when you look in that mirror, I see myself. So every superhero has to have a theme song, and I consider myself a superhero, and I consider that theme song "Lovely Day."
I love that. I got to give you a clap for that one. That was wonderful. And I believe in theme songs too. So you're right on point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, that's a good one. So is that your song? I know you said it's your theme song. So if you're in a pinch, can you just put that on and it change your energy? It ups your
Hmm.
frequency?
Yeah, absolutely. Because to me, sound is so important in terms of spiritual health and physical health too. So I just participated in a sound bath seminar about 2 days ago. So we had the opportunity to listen to chants, to have a vibration bowl placed on my body, and the vibration of the bowl going through my body. It's to me a healing process. And people don't understand that music and architecture are pretty close and similar in terms of evoking a spirit, evoking emotions, and mathematics, because there's the quarter note, half note, whole note, 16th note in music. So we also do measurements in architecture too as well. So they are, to me, they come together in terms of both professions.
Wow, I love how you put that together because I believe many eons ago, the actual pyramids were also used for sound. And
Hmm.
because of how it was arched, it helped elevate the sound to do healing. Now, again, that's my perspective, my reading. So I'm glad you said that. So it sounds
Yes,
like we're on the same wavelength.
we are on the same wavelength. Pardon the pun, wavelength.
Yeah, okay, there you go. I like that. I like that. So let's do a twist and a turn and
Okay.
let's talk about you giving back. We know that you are over at West Prep
Hmm.
Academy. So
Hmm.
if you can give me some background on how that actually came into play and what you provide to the students.
Absolutely. So, out of 115,000 registered architects, only about 5% are minorities and 2% African American. So, my goal was to make sure that I had a pipeline of students that would be interested in architecture. So, I reached out to the principal at West Prep, and they allowed me to come in twice a month in the last 3 years to teach sixth grade architecture. So it's really interesting. The first thing that we do is we buy them a safety vest and a hard hat, and I have them customize their hard hat to anything they want because it's an art class. So some kids draw flowers, some kids draw people, but I just wanted them to start having an avenue for their expression. So once we do that, I give them a presentation of what is involved in architecture, like interior design, drafting, and we take a real life project that I have in my office, and we go through the process of coming up with a site analysis. I have them draw the floor plans. They come up with color schemes. We talk about materials, and all in the pretense of trying to make sure that they understand what it's going to take to be an architect and if they're interested. And some kids are very good in drafting and drawing. One little kid actually works for his father, a part of his landscaping business, and he was able to just come up with all these beautiful designs of trees and plants. So it's very exciting. And my hopes is to have in the next 4 to 5 years kids who are prepped and ready to go to college to major in architecture.
I love that. I think that is so needed and necessary because they may have an interest, but you being there, taking them
Hmm.
through that process gives them another step in the process to say, this might be possible. I might have a love for this. So I love that you are dropping seeds and giving these children the avenue to do so in a place that I love the most, the historic West Side.
Absolutely. They need to see someone like themselves exceeding in the arts and engineering fields.
Yes. I also love that you start with allowing them to be creative. I
Yes,
think that's the first line. Be creative on their own. And I don't know where you got that, but I have to give you a hands up where you say, hey, here's the hat, and you can put whatever you want or create whatever you want. So I have to give you a hand for that. I love that creativity part.
absolutely. Creativity is an individual thing, right? So we all have different ideas of what creativity, artistic expression is. And for me, I tend to look towards nature. I look at a tree. Some people look at a tree as just being a tree. I look at the tree as how it grows up out of the ground. I look at the negative spaces between the leaves, and those are images of my way of coming up with different concepts that is original. So by having the kids come up with their own idea, it lets me know that hey, they're thinking individually about the design and not like following the trend or whatever.
I love that. I definitely love that. I think that's a great way, and thank you for explaining that. But I'm going to dig a little deeper. You mentioned trees, and this just triggered for me
Hmm.
gardening and watermelon. You and I had a side conversation,
We
sir,
did.
about that. So tell me a little bit about that. I know it's outside of your normal realm, but you connected the tree with being in nature. Gardening
Yes.
gardening is also that. And on the side, we'll talk about my watermelon that you promised me. But
Sure. Actually, oh, this is a long story, but to make it short, that my wife actually picked the watermelon, and so it turned out to be very sweet. But I did save the seeds for you,
oh,
so I
perfect,
got the seed.
perfect.
So just for the audience, like I said, I grew up in northern Louisiana, so I grew up in a farming community. I was working at 7 years old. I was working in the cotton fields, so I'm used to growing plants, fruit, food, watermelons, cantaloupes, peas, beans, the whole thing. And so that is my original attachment to nature because I grew up in it. And so on the 4th of July, we had, traditional watermelon for one of our meals. So one of my grandkids actually spit a seed into one of our planters. And then about 3 weeks later, we saw this little plant starting to come up. And then all of a sudden, it just started to grow really, really big. And we actually ended up having 5 watermelons from that one seed. So that is the,
Wow.
that is the story for the audience because it was like I could probably never do that again, but it just happened.
Well, even though it just happened, I think this is a beautiful reminder of what we can do even when we're not expecting it. So
Absolutely.
everything has its place.
Yes,
And look how
absolutely.
him just spitting, and
I know, right?
it turned into 5 watermelons.
Yes, yes, it did.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, make sure you save one of those seeds for the little one that spit it in there.
I know, right? And we can replant it. So we're looking to just start a raised planter because obviously in the desert you can't plant in the ground. So we're looking to do a raised planter and plant the seeds as well. And I'll save some for you too.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I
Sure,
really appreciate that.
sure.
Because I already know it's blessed because the baby spit it out.
Yes, yes.
So let's just take a twirl back to music.
Okay, sure.
And I was wondering if you can identify a song that you have sing the majority of your life, and then one day, one moment, you go, wait 1 minute. I've been singing this song all this time, and now I actually know what it's about. Can you identify a song?
Yes, that song is Brand New by the OJs. When I listened to the song and I was trying to sing it, I never knew it wasn't about a woman. It was about a dog. And I was totally shocked because you got to think of the lyrics. It was very emotional lyrics. It talked about heartbreak. It talked about solitude and abandonment. And again, it led me to believe that it was a real romantic relationship, which I think I'm not I don't have pets, but I can see how that could be loving relationship between an owner and his pets. Yeah, so I can understand that. But that song was the one that got me.
I love that. I don't know if you know, I had the opportunity to interview Pamela Goins Brown, the mayor
Yes,
of North Las Vegas, and she provided that as an example as well. She said
really.
that, yes, so you guys on the same page. She said
Yeah.
originally she thought it was a love song. I did as well. And
Hmm.
then to come to find out it's about a dog. But
Oh yeah.
it had passion in it.
It did, absolutely. And to me, music is a form of expression that gets evokes a feeling. And it could be a great feeling, it could be a sad feeling, but it evokes a feeling, evokes an emotion.
Yes, yes, definitely that. Definitely that. So let's go back into your professional lane and let's talk about some things that people may not be aware of. I'm just going to go down my list of a few things that you've done here.
Sure.
Some notable local projects. In 2017, correct me if I'm wrong, you did the Flamingo Convention Center,
Yeah, we worked on the interiors of it. Yes, we scanned it and we remodeled it, renovated it. Yes,
which is, I think, it's amazing. You also did Rainbow Dreams Academy.
correct. Diane Pollard. Yes.
Yes. And
Hmm.
another one I want to throw out is Kermit R. Booker. And you were
Yes.
the first one to do the prototype of a two-story, correct?
Right, that was correct, but that was for Wendell P. Williams Elementary School over on J Street. So that was the first two-story elementary school because it was on a confined site. We actually built the building on the playground, and we kept the original school open. And then once that new school was built, we tore down the old school and made that the playground. But Wendell P. Williams was the very first two-story elementary school.
Wow. And you guys came up with that plan to accommodate that,
Yes, absolutely. And one of the good things that we did, we always like to try to bring involve the students. So we had architectural representative from each student class come to the job site, be a part of the design, and then they will report back to their respective grade classes. And so to me, we integrated the students at the very beginning of the project. We also had them draw up images of say things that they like, and we lasers cut those into the flooring. So as they walk through the school, they had a reminder of all of the wonderful things that they came up with in terms of their creativity and what they place inside the school itself.
I love that. That gives them a sense of belonging and a part of the
Absolutely.
process.
It's called placemaking, culturally, identifying a place where you can then understand how to bring all this together, the cultural aspect part of it, the wayfinding, and all of that.
I love that. So I need to pick your brain just a little deeper. What is your process to stay connected, because you're always thinking and including others in the process, especially our children? Where does that energy come from? Where's your background with that too? Because you don't have to do what you're doing. So
Right.
tell me about that.
So it comes from my mom. Like I said, I come from a single parent household. My mom had a seventh grade education. My aunts couldn't read and write. However, you've already heard, we always know the saying that it takes a village. So my mom not only raised us, but she also had a hand in raising a lot of the kids in the community. And she's always given her all to everyone, not just us. So I learned that from my mom, and I've always had a hand open because coming up from where I came, being on welfare till 18, I understood the importance of helping others. So if I'm going to do good, I'm going to make sure that I can bring up someone else. And then also the knowledge that I have, I'm not going to take it to the grave. I'm going to make sure I spread it around because whatever knowledge that I give to, say, other students, because of their personality, they're going to take it in a different way. So there's no jealousy here in me giving information out to any and everyone. And it's just something that my mom instilled in me to give back to the community.
I love that. So, just so you know, I haven't told you, but I have an invisible pew. They're back here. You
Mm-hmm.
can't see them. I can't see them. But what we do for that invisible pew, we give them a perspective. And when you said this very thing, I cannot
Mm-hmm.
take it with me to the grave.
Right.
I
Mm-hmm.
think that is so necessary to hear because a lot of times people will take what they've learned over the
Mm-hmm.
years, which is
Mm-hmm.
great information, and they hold it tight.
Yes. And my question is why? Because are you afraid that someone else is going to take it and do it better? I promote that because, like I said, we all have different personalities, and what one sees from their perspective is totally different than what I see from my perspective. And
Yeah,
if they can put a twist on it and make it better, I'm all for it. I always tell everybody, especially the students that I talk to, is that I'm just a launching pad for all of their ideas. I can put them in a certain level, then as a booster rocket, and then they're going to go into the stratosphere in a different level. And hopefully they will then play it forward to help someone else. To
I
make this
love.
world a better place right now, things are very chaotic. And I think that we need all of the tools that we can for survival. And to me, music is a great motivational tool as well as having a great work ethic. I get up early in the morning. I'm up at 2 or 3 in the morning. I have a list of things, a to do list that I have uh, started doing like books back in 2010. So I can put one of my books in 2010. I can tell you what I did on that day. Because
Wow.
you have to have be disciplined, and you have to have be persistent, and you have to have determination as well.
Well, listen, you talking to somebody, whether it's today, tomorrow, or 5 years from now, you just have encouraged them that sometimes you got to get up a little earlier. You can't
Oh
lay
yeah,
in the bed. What's the saying? The early bird gets the worm.
absolutely, absolutely. My competitors may be still in bed, but I'm strategizing. So that's my game plan. And Nike said it best: just do it. You just got to do it. You just got to trust in yourself.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And let's talk about, if you don't mind me getting just a little bit deeper, you had said something. And the reason why I'm saying this and the reason why I'm bringing this out, we have some individuals that are just like you. They are introvert. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we know introvert, it hurts them or
Yes.
it's hard for them to push forward and to express their self. Can you talk about your process of you going down your journey of life, little things you had to do to say, okay, I need to push forward. I need to be upfront and talk about who I am.
Sure. So I guess the first motivation was not working in the fields. that that
Yes.
was that was the best motivation because back in the day I was born in 1957. So back in the day there were no child labor laws back then. So there's the phrase "sun up to sunset." That's what happened. That's how long
Oof.
you work. And so I knew that I didn't want to have that type of lifestyle. So that motivated me among everything else to get the heck out of that area. So, but with that, I talk about the great work ethic. Like my mom, she was a maid, and so we had to fend for ourselves. So not only do, and most Southern men and women have to do that. A lot of us have to do that. So I learned how to cook, clean, sew, and clean house, and do all those things, right? And so that kind of gave me a stability, and I knew that I had this certain, I don't know how to explain it, this certain spirit inside of my heart that I always wanted to be the best that I can possibly be. God blessed me with the talent of drawing. So I was drawing when I was like 6 or 7.
Wow.
And my teachers, my principal, they saw this talent and they steered me in the right direction. So I didn't do it all by myself. I had a lot of help along the way. But just to get back to what we were talking about, I think it takes a lot of self-discipline. You have to believe in yourself. You have to have great self-esteem. Although I'm an introvert, I'm a what they call a junkyard dog. If someone tells me I can't do it, you better believe I'm going to find a way to do it.
Yes.
And so you just have to have that spirit, and it's something that we all possess. We just have to find it. We have to find it, and then once we find it, we have to nurture it. We have to get all of the foundations, like the academic foundation, the physical foundation, because you have to keep your body in check, and also the spiritual part. You have to have that spiritual nature in order to say, okay, there's an obstacle, but I have the faith that I can jump over that or go around it. Sometimes you have to bust through it too, as an introvert.
Hmm.
And that's why I talk about that junkyard dog part, because a junkyard dog doesn't back down. So sometimes I have to be a junkyard dog when I do, when I work with certain individuals in the industry who think I'm not capable of doing, uh, that type of project, or I don't have the capacity.
Yes. Well, let me just say this. I'm shocked. I love the analogy, the junkyard dog. So, in other words, he letting you know, don't let the smile fool you.
Yes, don't let it, because beneath it, if I have to, I can make it work.
I love it. I
Oh,
definitely,
the one other thing too, I have to tell you, because I have to eat. So, and I have a staff of 10 people. So, I can't just sit around and be complacent. I have to go after it.
yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely that. I love that you mentioned that because a lot of times people don't realize when you own your own, it's not just for you. You have multiple people with multiple families, so you have to continue to stay
Absolutely.
in it. So let's just talk about, since we've talked about you coming out here, like I love that junkyard dog mentality. But let's talk about something that really relaxed you. I mentioned it as I gave the introduction about you being a musician. So,
Hmm.
can
Hmm.
you tell me the catalyst for you to be a musician? And let's talk about the band that you're in as well.
Sure. Um, I've always liked the bottom end of the music, the bass, the drums. So, and listening in a younger age, I listened to a lot of reggae, and I love the syncopated beats. So one of my first songs was that I liked a lot was "Jammin'" by Bob Marley, and also "So Much Things to Say." That song, "So Much Things to Say," is just like such a spiritual awakening. And one of the verses is like, and I wish I could sing, but it says, "When the rain falls, it falls not only on one man's housetop." And you have to remember that, because just like things that happen in this world, we have to be conscious that it not only happened to us, it's happened to people around us. And so that song to me resonates, that spiritual understanding of righteousness, and how sometimes the word misunderstands us, but we also have a voice too. And so that to me is so important. But I started playing music when I was listening to Bob Marley and Parliament Funkadelic. Oh my
Oh,
God. The Bootsy Collins and James Jamerson with Motown, and it's just the bottom end. It was so understanding. And to me it was like sort of like being an introvert, because they weren't flashy, the drummer and the bass player, the lead guitar or singer, they get all the limelight. But without the timing and the rhythm of the bass and the drums, you wouldn't have all of this emotion because even though they're subtle, they're driving the band. I like to think that. This is just coming from a bass player. So the band that we play in is called Soul Motion. We are on YouTube. Bunch of guys who have day jobs, and we just got together. We all knew each other. We just got together and formed this band with a lead singer. She's no longer with us. She's moved to Florida. But it gave us the opportunity, first of all, to relieve stress and to do what we like to do best, which is play music.
I love it. I love it. I really think that well, I was able to see some of the rehearsals that you guys um,
Oh yeah.
put together, and it just really seemed like you guys are all vibing and having a good time. And that's what music is. It's the great
Yes.
connector.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with, I tell people I try to spirit by the spirit. That's the
Mm-hmm.
same thing with music. It could care less what color you are, if you
Mm-hmm.
have this or that. Can you sink into the frequency that I'm providing? And if you
Mm-hmm.
can, we can all work together. That's what music says.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of my favorite songs too is God Did It. Oh my God. But I think Evelyn Turrentine AG, but it's really a great inspirational song.
Do you play that often?
Yes, I play that often. I even play Lovely Day often. I play Hollywood Swinging. That's one of my favorite songs by Kool in the Game. Oh, I love that
Yes.
song.
So speaking of cooling the game, we know originally they were a jazz band,
Hmm.
and then they transitioned into more of an R&B funk kind of band. Are you a lover of jazz as well?
Oh yes, Cannonball Alley, Mercy, Mercy, Mercy. We play that. Watermelon Man by Herbie Hancock. Play that, and then we also play some of that New Orleans funk. Sissy Strut by the Meters. So
Okay.
we play all, and then the lead music director, he also plays the Hammond B3 organ. So
And that's
he
the
can
one.
tickle those keys. Yes.
Yes, he what is it? I can't think of the guy. You and I had the discussion. He reminds me of.
Oh, Michael McDonald. Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. And
And
am
we
I the only one with that assumption, or other people get that energy?
everybody get that energy because he has that deep voice and he has the white beard, the white hair. Yeah, so our band is very diverse. So we have even the drummer, he's from Denmark.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah. So we have a very diverse band.
So is any of those particular individuals in the same field that you're in?
Okay, the drummer is a project coordinator in architecture. The Hammond B3 organ, he's a lighting consultant. He works for a lighting company. The bass player, I'm sorry, the lead guitar, he's retired from the city of North Las Vegas.
I thought that was him. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna call his name because he's probably, but
Yes.
yeah, it is him. Yeah,
Yes. Oh, wow.
yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. And you're right. It is very diverse. And of course,
Mhm.
you the bass
Bass
guitar.
player,
And
yes, yeah.
I was watching the video, and I must say, sir, you very, very cool. I mean, you just like.
Yeah, Marcus Miller is my idol. I wish I could play as good as he is, but I do have the fedora that he wears.
And listen, and you are rocking it, okay? You
Sure,
are
sure.
definitely rocking it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about music again in a way that you initially process with it. And the reason why I'm saying that, when you was a child, you had
Mm-hmm.
the first opportunity to buy music on your own
Mm-hmm.
without any influence, meaning you had some money for Christmas or you just
Mm-hmm.
saved some money from working, and
Mm-hmm.
you said, this is what I'm going to purchase no matter what anybody told you to get. Can you
Mm-hmm.
identify your first purchase or your first song selection?
Yeah, it was just my imagination by the Temptations.
Mm.
That song, boy, I tell you, how they harmonize in that song, and it was just such a cool song. So I play that a lot. I play two versions of it. I played the original version by the Temptations, And I also play the huge groove version of Just My Imagination, which is more smooth jazz.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good, it's just my imagination.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you say? Running away with me. It
Oh,
was
there you
just
go.
my. No, I can't sing, but I love, listen, I'll try anything.
Sure, sure, absolutely.
So let's go back and talk about you being in this field in multiple different areas. We know you have a place here in Las Vegas, as you mentioned before, Atlanta, you Texas, and Guam. Let's jump to Guam. How did that come about? Of course, we know that is still a U.S. territory, but that's a total different probably process. So, what pulled you in that area to have an office and to be able to do work out there?
Sure. So we teamed up with a construction company, a global construction company that was going after some work there. Um, Okinawa was they were moving the base from Okinawa to Guam, and so we had teamed up with this company to go after some work, and so we established an office there. The unfortunate part that we didn't get any work per se, but we still kept the office there in case there's something come up because we're always looking about growing our company. So we still have the office and address still there. And I'm registered in Guam.
So you're registered so you can actually perform work there.
Yes, yes. We're registered in over 10 states here. And then also I have international experience. I worked in Macau from 2006 to 2009, just before the economy tanked. So we did a lot of hospitality work on the Cotai Strip. And so I have the ability to practice architecture in over 18 countries as well.
Wow, that's amazing. You
Mhm.
you just didn't sit still where you were. You didn't let no dirt grow up under your feet.
You know, I can't. Life is too short, and that's what I tell everybody. Live your dream, and make sure that you have the tools to make it happen.
So, okay, we talked about all these things about you being steadfast with taking care of business. You mentioned the word discipline, which I get it, and you
Hmm.
mentioned having faith.
Hmm.
How do you, so I have this concept, as hard as I play, as hard as excuse me, as hard as I work, I should also play. What do
Hmm.
you do? Do you travel? I understand you have your band, but
Hmm.
outside of that, what do you do to relax?
Okay, so this is really a good question because there is a very difficult line between the work life, live work balance. And so right now I am failing it because I tend to focus so much on work, and my wife tells me this all the time that I have to stop and smell the roses. So what we're attempting to do is doing more things together, like cooking classes, going on cruises. We just went on a Virgin cruise last year with some very dear friends of ours. So we started in Greece and we cruised down to Barcelona, and we're doing something like that similar this year on Virgin Cruise. One thing about Virgin Cruise, it's all adults, no one under 21 allowed. So I love that type of cruise.
Grown people.
Yeah, so but we do a lot of traveling to different countries, and so what we do is we don't necessarily throw a dart at the globe, but we like to go to places like blue zones. So we go to Costa Rica a lot. We're looking to go to Japan as well, but we love traveling in Italy.
Wow, why Italy? What is it about Italy?
Well, for me, it's the architecture. Oh my
Mm.
God, is such beautiful architecture, and just looking at just being inspired by the fact that this was generated so many years ago. So I did also have an opportunity to go to Ghana and South Africa too a couple of years ago. So
Wow. Well, it seems like you're definitely making sure, which is good. Shout out to your wife
hmm.
for encouraging you or keeping you on the path to say, listen, you have to have some downtime.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's so important to be able to filter it and de-stress. I guess that's the word for it.
I believe so they call it recreation.
Hmm.
I heard someone said recreation is just recreation. So
Hmm.
if you have enough downtime, you can now recreate something or an idea you had. Sometimes we work so much we don't realize we just need a little bit more time, and that idea or that perspective that we were kind of trying to put together, it
Hmm.
pops in, it pops into our field.
Absolutely. And for me, music has been a way of de-stressing. I can spend hours inside my music room at our house. I also have a very expensive sound system because I believe in vinyl.
Mm-mm.
I have a large vinyl collection, and I'll just pick an album and just play it, listen to the instruments, the way they should be listened to, and just, fantasize about being on stage or understanding why this part of the song makes me feel this way, and how do I take that and relax myself or play the same tune over and over again, like Chaka Khan's "Sweet Thing." That's one of my other favorite song as well.
What?
Oh
Go
yes.
ahead. I love that. And I love that. So I heard a fun fact that the actual vinyl albums
Hmm.
were connected with a level of healing. So,
Really nice to
yes.
know.
So they said when you put it on and you can hear the little, I don't know what the noise is in the background,
Hmm.
that helps with the healing. So part of you going in there and getting quiet and just laying back, that's like a therapy healing to release and to add to you. So
Nice.
I think that's a great thing.
Absolutely.
So it has been so wonderful talking to you about just every little thing with music and your perspective in life. But before we get out of here, I have to talk about the one current thing that you're working on that
Hmm.
you allowed me to have a back end
Sure.
tour, which I have to say thank you publicly. Let's talk about this gym that everybody is waiting for. And I believe the grand opening is December the 9th.
That's correct.
And we're talking about the West Las Vegas Library. So give me all the things that you can talk about regarding that.
Sure. So shout out to Kelvin Watson and John Vino with the library district. Kelvin is the director. So they entrusted KME Architects and Moody Nolan, our associate architect, to come up with a design that would be a civic building within the community, to be a beacon that would bring people in to a place of learning. So we came up with the concept of the 21st century library. And so most libraries in the past was like a shush, right? As you seen in this tour that you took, this library is just the opposite. We had several stakeholders meetings with the community, and we asked them what did they want to see in their new library. The old library was pretty compact, only 17,000 square foot. So we increased it, we doubled it to almost 43,000 square foot. The old parking lot has, well, maybe 40 to 50 parking spots. We have 135. We have a event center that would house 600 people standing and maybe 120 in a round table that connects to a secure outdoor event center area that you can spill over if you have an event in the inside. And then on top of that, we have a outdoor area for food trucks, farmers market, concerts, and we provided the power for that. So the traditional library has books, but it also has a innovation center, so you're able to do like 3D printing, you can do pottery, you can do sewing, we have a CNC machine, so you can do woodwork. And we have a multimedia center that includes a recording studio. You can rent the instruments. You can edit your video, your sound, take it into a green room, and you can do your video background. Say if you want to be in Paris or Rome or whatever in space. So you have the ability to do your own video, and then you can take that and then you can promote it with a podcast because we have two podcast rooms that you can do podcasts in. And then we also have a workforce area too that people can come in and they can meet potential clients. They can do their resumes. They have ability to rent rooms, use the copy machine, and do all those things. Get their resume together. So that library is going to be a beacon for everybody in the community, and it's just gorgeous. It is state of the art. And our whole concept was to bring in a lot of light. So as you drive down MLK at night, you can see the inside of the building. But as you walk into it, you can see the outside because of all of the windows. We have on the second floor, we have a view of the downtown area. We have a
Yeah.
view of Sunrise Mountain, and we also have a view of the of Red Rock as well. So we're really excited. We think it's going to be a showpiece for the neighborhood, and West Las Vegas deserve it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And everything you saying, I definitely resonate with it. Now, I have to put you on the spot, and you might get
Sure.
me later. What
Okay.
is your favorite piece in the library? What area of the library is your favorite?
Okay. There's on the second floor. There's a quiet room. So in that corner, you can see almost 270 degrees. You can see from Red Rock all the way around to North Las Vegas, and a panoramic view of the mountains, the city, and then Sunrise Mountain, and then looking towards Aliante. Unbelievable, unbelievable.
Yeah, I have to agree. That's one thing that caught my eye. And another thing, how the lighting
Yes.
plays and reflects in
Hmm.
different spots and where you stand. And I'm like, wow, I love plants. I would have plants everywhere in every area, but I digress. But it's just a really
Sure.
beautiful piece.
Hmm.
Thank you again for allowing me to come on the tour and also bring, two other people with me.
Hmm.
Can you again remind them about the grand opening and do you have a time already set for the time that we know the day, but do you have a time set?
You know what? I think there's a flyer out on Instagram, but I think it's from 10 a.m. until 8 p.m.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it's a full day.
Yes, of activities.
Wow. Well, I will be there.
Oh, nice.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm thankful that you were able to put the love into
Hmm.
the building. And you
Hmm.
can definitely see as we went through, you were able to talk about every little nick, every little cranny. You were able to give visions behind it. And I
Hmm.
don't think, as I look back over my life and I've helped with, sit on some boards and did some
Yes.
things, I've never had the architect to be able to come in to really give that full picture. So I thank you for that. You're one of a kind.
Sure. What one of the things that we do, we do a lot of research at the very beginning of the project. And most people don't know that a lot of the people in West Las Vegas are from Tallulah, Louisiana, and Fordyce, Arkansas. So just to kind of give them a little bit of context about the design that we came up with, the front of the building, which is facing east, is considered the front porch, the southern front porch. So we did a lot of research on the southern front porch. The southern front porch is where you sit on the porch. You kind of look around to see who's out there, see who's passing your house. And you also you gossip. I mean, you sit there, you relax. So by designing it with that big overhang, we created the southern front porch. And so after say 1 o'clock, that whole east side shades. And so they're looking to put maybe not necessarily rockers, but some type of bench seating there, so you can actually sit outside too as well.
Well, that would be lovely to have that. And maybe that part can be activated for,
Mhm.
you know, mothers and fathers and just, connecting relationships because that's really what a Southern porch is. Like you
Yes.
said, it's about connecting relationship, but also you get to hear the latest tea that's going on in the
Oh,
community.
absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
So I thank you for again your passion that's connected to that. and just really moving forward with giving a full view of what you do and how you do it.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
before we get out of here, I would like for you to please tell my audience or anyone else that's tapping in how they can get in contact with you, whether they want to partner with some in some form or fashion, or they would like to use your company for something in the future.
Sure, absolutely. You can reach us at KME Architects, 5195 South Durango Drive, and that's Las Vegas, Nevada, 89113. Our phone number is 702-888-2088. And you can reach us also on our website, which is www.kmearchitects.com.
Perfect, perfect. Well, before we get out of here, this season is my third season, and it's about discovering you. We
Hmm.
all have to discover us because it's we have to work on the introverse first before we can come out and give on the outside. I say all of that to say, is there a song that you can dedicate to the world based on you discovering yourself?
Sure. Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror.
Tell
It
me
says it
why.
all because it starts with that man and that woman in the mirror or that child in the mirror. It doesn't matter what color you are, but you have to look at yourself and say, hey, I'm going to be the best that I can possibly be under all of the circumstances that are facing me, all of the chaos, all of the uncertainties. I have to trust in myself. And I tell everybody that that personal space is the only place that you really can control, which is probably a 2 foot by 2 foot area. Everything else is going to be external, but it's how do you approach that? How do you receive that? Do you receive it in a negative way? Do you receive it in a way that you can turn it around?
Mm.
So to me, that song "Man in the Mirror" is I don't know, it's just such a great song to talk about all of the things that we need to talk about.
I definitely agree with that. I think throughout my seasons, everyone we've always had someone that mentioned that song, and I
Hmm.
say that because that song will never go out of style. Even
Yep,
after you and I have long passed on, that song will still be the catalyst for change.
absolutely. There will be the catalyst, and that changes us individually
Yes,
first.
you're absolutely right. Well, I have one more song question before we get out of here.
Sure.
um Give me, and I know I said the last time was the last one, but I just want to, I just want to pick your brain. Can you tell me a song that if you really feel the energy of connecting to the earth, is there a jazz or is there a song that really you can go sit out in the garden or you can go sit at a park and it just really connects you to the earth?
Yeah, it's really weird, but this is the theme from Taxi by Bob
Really?
James. Yeah,
Yes.
I love that song. I think it was called Angela. I love that song. It's just the way the bass and the piano and there's so many songs, but that's one of them. Yes.
I love that.
Hmm.
Well, before we get out of here, I do have one spiel that I always give. I talk about the journey and the
Hmm.
destination.
Hmm.
The journey is where we learn and where we grow. The destination is where we celebrate. We got to have an area to celebrate because if you work, work, work too hard, you don't
Sure.
appreciate it. And if you
Hmm.
don't appreciate it, then you become stagnant and you have
Yeah.
to be able to celebrate.
Hmm.
But the key to it all is to get back into the journey so we can continue to learn and grow. And the next
Yes.
time we'll have the opportunity to celebrate again.
Absolutely.
So when I have my women on, I bow to them. When I have my men on, I salute them. So I salute you, sir. And I just want to say thank you so very much for saying yes. And I
Hmm.
always give my guests the last word. So anything that's on your heart you would like to share goes to you.
I would just like to have everyone to just believe in yourself because you're the one that's going to direct this journey, this destination, and like you were saying, we have to smell the roses along the way because life is very difficult. It just depends on what type of attitude that you have towards the challenges and how you have to understand that you might have to take one step back, but always move forward.
Yes, yes, I love that. You guys, first of all, again, thank you so very much for saying yes to this woman over here on the other end. And I would like my audience to please, please put their hands together and thank Mr. Melvin.
Thank you so much.
You are more than welcome, and thank you. And as I say to all my guests, I'll see you out here in these Las Vegas streets. Thank you.
Bye now.